Right now, while you watch this, someone in Tokyo just Googled, best ramen near me. A student in Lagos opened Gmail to send an assignment. A mom in Brazil is watching a YouTube tutorial. A delivery driver in Chicago just asked Google Maps for the fastest route. None of them paid a single rupee, a single dollar, a single anything, and yet, the company behind all of this is worth over $2 trillion. Google doesn't charge you, but last year, it made $350 billion. So here's the question everyone should be asking. If you're not paying for it, then what exactly are you paying with? Let's go back to 1998. Two PhD students at Stanford University, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, were building a search engine as a college project. They named it Google, inspired by the word Google, which is the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's how much information they wanted to organize. Here's the funny part. They hated the idea of putting ads on it. In their original 1998 research paper, Page and Brin literally wrote, and I'm paraphrasing here, that search engines funded by advertising would be biased and couldn't be trusted. Fast forward 25 years. Google is now the world's largest advertising company. So what changed? Money ran out, investors came in, and Google discovered the most powerful business model in human history: give everything away for free. Then sell the attention you capture. By 2000, Google launched Google AdWords, the system where businesses could pay to appear at the top of search results. And that changed everything. Here's something that will blow your mind. Every single time you type something into Google, a silent auction happens. In the time it takes that page to load, roughly 100 to 300 milliseconds, Google runs a live bidding war between every advertiser who wants to show you their ad. Let's say you type, best insurance in Lahore. In that fraction of a second, insurance companies are competing. Company A says, I'll pay 500 rupees per click. Company B says, I'll pay 700 rupees per click. Company C says, I'll pay 1000 rupees per click. But here's the twist. The highest bidder doesn't always win. Google uses something called an ad rank, which combines your bid and the quality of your ad. So a company with a great, relevant ad can beat a company that bids more money. This is genius for Google. It forces advertisers to make better ads, which means users have a better experience, which means more people use Google, which means Google can charge even more for ads. It's a perfect loop. And how much do these clicks cost? In highly competitive industries, law, insurance, finance, a single click can cost $50 or more. Some keywords in the US regularly hit $100 per click. Now multiply that by 8.5 billion searches per day. That's the money machine. But Google doesn't just make its ads valuable because there are a lot of searches. It makes them valuable because those ads are terrifyingly accurate. Think about this. You have Gmail. Google reads your emails, not a human, an algorithm, to understand your interests. You use Google Maps. Google knows where you work, where you live, which gym you go to, which restaurants you visit. You use Chrome browser. Google knows every website you visit, even sites that have nothing to do with Google. You use Android phone. Google knows how long you sleep, which apps you use, your daily routine. Researchers have found that Google's trackers appear on roughly 78% of all web pages you visit across the entire internet. A scholar named Shoshana Zuboff wrote a famous book about this. She called it Surveillance Capitalism, the idea that your behavior has become a product that gets sold without your full knowledge. And here's how it works in practice. You and your friend both Google running shoes. Your friend, based on their data profile, sees an ad for budget shoes at 2,000 rupees. You, because Google's algorithm knows you've been browsing premium products and your location suggests higher income, you see an ad for 15,000 rupee Nike shoes. Same search, different ad, both advertisers paid. That's not guessing, that's precision targeting, built from billions of data points collected about you, every single day. And this is why Google's advertising is worth so much more than a newspaper or TV ad. A TV ad shows the same message to everyone: young, old, rich, poor, interested, not interested. Google's ad shows the exact right message to the exact right person at the exact right moment. For an advertiser, that's not just better. That's incomparably better. In 2006, Google bought a scrappy little video website called YouTube for $1.65 billion. Everyone thought Google overpaid. In 2024, YouTube alone generated $36 billion in ad revenue. And that's just the ads. YouTube's total revenue, including subscriptions like YouTube Premium and YouTube TV, crossed $50 billion in a single 12-month period. The model is elegant. People create videos for free. YouTube hosts them for free. Then YouTube puts ads on those videos, without the creator needing to sell anything themselves. YouTube keeps 45% of ad revenue. Creators get 55%. So creators are essentially unpaid salespeople who attract the audience, while YouTube monetizes the attention they capture. There are now over 2 billion monthly users on YouTube. It's the world's second largest search engine after Google itself. People don't just watch music videos. They watch tutorials, documentaries, lectures, cooking shows, news, for hours every day. And every minute of that viewing is an opportunity to show an ad. Here's something Google understood before almost anyone else. The best way to get more data is to give away more free products. Think about the Google ecosystem. Android, the mobile operating system, is free for phone manufacturers to use. Today, Android powers roughly 72% of all smartphones on Earth. Why give it away? Because Android is Google's data collection device. Every Android phone, by default, has Google Search, Google Maps, Google Chrome, YouTube, Gmail, all reporting user behavior back to Google. Chrome, the world's most popular web browser with over 3 billion users, is free. Why? Because when you browse the web through Chrome, Google can see everything you do online, even on non-Google websites. Gmail with 1.8 billion users, free. Google Maps with over 1 billion users, free. Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Photos, all free. Each one is not just a product. Each one is a data collection point that feeds the advertising machine. An economist once described Google's strategy perfectly. The product is free because you are the product. The more Google knows about you, the more precisely it can target ads, the more advertisers will pay, the more money Google makes. It's not evil, it's just the most efficient business model ever designed. For years, Google was almost entirely dependent on advertising. That made investors nervous. What happens if advertising slows down? So Google started building its second empire, Google Cloud. Today, companies like Spotify, Snapchat, and some of the world's largest banks run their entire operations on Google's servers. When you stream a song on Spotify, there's a good chance it's flowing through Google's infrastructure. In 2024, Google Cloud generated $43 billion in revenue, growing 30% from the previous year. It competes with Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure in a market worth hundreds of billions. And unlike advertising, which can go up and down with the economy, cloud revenue is subscription-based. Companies pay every month, whether or not the economy is doing well. This stability is exactly what Google needed to become more resilient. And now, Google Cloud is becoming the home of AI, which is the biggest business opportunity of the 21st century. Google doesn't just play for today. It plays for 20 years from now. Under its parent company Alphabet, Google funds a series of moonshot projects called Other Bets. There's Waymo, the self-driving car company that's now operating commercial robotaxi services in US cities. There's Verily, a life sciences company using data and AI to transform healthcare. There's DeepMind, the AI research lab that created AlphaFold, which solved a 50-year scientific mystery about protein structures. These other bets only generated about $1.65 billion in 2024, a tiny fraction of Google's total. But they're not meant to make money today. They're meant to own industries of the future. If Waymo becomes the backbone of autonomous transportation worldwide, that's $1 trillion business. If Verily cracks precision medicine, that changes healthcare forever. Google is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. So let's come back to where we started. You don't pay Google, but Google is worth $2 trillion. The trade, whether you fully realized it or not, goes like this. You give Google your attention, your data, your habits, your searches, your location, your emails, your videos. Google takes all of that, packages it into the world's most precise advertising targeting system, and sells access to your attention to millions of businesses worldwide. In return, you get the world's best search engine, free. The world's largest video platform, free. Maps that can navigate you anywhere on Earth, free. $1 billion email service, free. A powerful document editor, free. It's actually a remarkable deal. The question isn't whether Google is making money off you. The question is whether you think the exchange is fair. If you found this valuable, please comment your feedback below.